All right, think we're good? Don't buy a Pixel 4 at launch. So some history about me, I'm a Google fanboy. I bought or pre-ordered pretty much every Google phone way back when the Nexus phones were coming out. Except for the Nexus 4 because I forget what carrier it was on, but it wasn't mine. Even when I jumped ship to a Samsung or an iPhone, I always just found my way back to a Google phone for some reason. I pre-ordered the OG Pixel, I pre-ordered the Pixel 2, I even pre-ordered the Pixel 3, even though I told myself I wasn't going to. But now, for sure, I know I'm not pre-ordering the Pixel 4, and I don't think you should either. Okay, so I'll start with one of the more unimportant reasons, which is that there's no more incentives to pre-order. Or I guess I should say there's no more good incentives. So if the OG Pixel, anyone that pre-ordered got a Daydream headset thrown in, which was awesome. It was a great way to show off a new platform to the core fan base, or the nerds that were probably gonna be most excited about it anyway. I mean, I still use this thing. Then if you pre-ordered the Pixel 2, you got a free Google Home Mini thrown in, which is again another way to show off a new platform to the early adopters, and it just felt like a nice nod to the fans, the people that were pre-ordering the Google phones. So what did you get when you pre-ordered a Pixel 3? A $50 gift card. Yeah. Now, I should say that they don't have to give you anything, and I don't want to sound like a crybaby. I still think it's pretty cool that they gave enough money to pick up one of their cool cases. Safe. Or a screen protector, or any other kind of useful phone accessory that I wouldn't have otherwise purchased because it was too expensive. So it was cool that they did that, but it just felt to me like they kind of gave up. Like, when you're going to someone's birthday party and you have no idea what they like or anything about them, what do you give them? A gift card. With the first two Pixels, that wasn't the case. It felt like they knew who their core audience was. And now, maybe because the Pixel 3 is going mainstream, it doesn't feel that way anymore. So the second reason why you shouldn't get a Pixel 4 at launch is probably the most important reason, and that's the deals. So right after the Pixel 3 was announced, aka right after the loyalists pre-ordered ours and started receiving them, Google went ham with the promos. And I mean, right after, like within the month. Everywhere you look, there was $50 off, $100 off, $200 off, and one that really ticked me off was a buy one get one half deal that was short-lived, but I could have done that. There were sales for people switching to Google Fi, sales for Black Friday, early holiday sales, sales if your grandmother was left-handed. There were just a bunch of sales. And not to sound like a whiny brat, but as someone that pre-ordered, it left a bitter taste in my mouth because here I was walking around with a brand new phone that I should have been happy and grateful for, and instead I felt like I got ripped off because everywhere I looked there were deals that showed if I had just waited 2 more weeks I could have saved $300. In short, I just felt kind of taken advantage of, and I gladly would have waited another month in order to get that extra $50 or $100 back in my bank account. So unless you have money to burn and you really don't care, you should probably wait a couple weeks before getting the Pixel 4. So the last reason you might not want to order a Pixel 4 at launch might not apply to everyone, which is why I left it for last, but that's because the Pixel 3 exists now. The A series of Pixel phones is a thing now. And it's still unclear if Google is going to release a Pixel 4a, but I'm willing to bet they are by how hard they're marketing this Pixel 3a. Speaking for myself, I probably wouldn't have rushed out to get the Pixel 3 had I known that I could get the Pixel 3a if I would have just waited a couple months. So the 4a will likely skimp out on some of the higher end, more premium features in the same way that the 3a doesn't have the waterproofing or the wireless charging of the 3. But man, for $400 you get the same amount of RAM, the same camera, and you get a headphone jack. Worth it. Honestly, as someone who spends most of his time here working on our sibling site Sound Guys reviewing headphones, this makes it totally worth it so I don't have to deal with garbage dongles or the trash Pixel Buds. Which yes, I also bought with my own money because I have no self-control. Basically, if I could count on a sub $500 Pixel 4a that has 80% of the features of the Pixel 4, I'm entirely sold. And that pretty much does it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments whether you're going to be pre-ordering the Pixel 4, or if you think it's a good idea to wait a bit, or if you're just not going to order it at all. I'm interested to see what you guys think. As always, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell down there so you'll know every time we upload a video. And make sure to check out the podcast. I'm sure it's linked somewhere in the description. I'm Adam Molina. Keep it locked because we are your source for all things Android.